Hello YouTubers, BLUDGEONING here. The video today will be about the Battlefield 4 settings and key bindings I use. I was getting a couple requests to make a video on this, so here it is. I hope you guys will enjoy, and I hope it makes you guys a slightly better Battlefield player and makes your life a little bit easier. So without further ado, we shall start the video. So first of all, you're going to want to go in the options under the control tab, then go to the advanced options. I don't change anything here. The thing that I change in these options are decouple aiming from turning. This is something they added into the fall patch. So before you couldn't separate the turning of your turret from the base of your tank. So basically how it would work out is that if you would turn the base, the turret would follow. You would have to move your mouse to keep the turret at the same spot, right? So basically what it would look like is if you're just pressing like one key, I'm pressing the D key right now, you can see that the turret follows, and I always have to keep moving my mouse to stay on target or whatever. Although it's not that hard to do, it's just so much easier to just decouple both of them and have your turret independent from your base. Like that, when you turn your tank, the turret stays pretty much at the same spot, unless of course you have an Abrams. In that case it'll go up a little bit because of the fat ass. So this is something that's really useful. I found it helped me out tanking a lot more, and I've become better. Well, not just because of this, but this is a nice little feature that can just make your life a little bit easier. Now the next part of the settings I changed are in the gameplay options. So I don't really change anything in the basic ones. It's more in the advanced options that I do. So something that I'd like to change is having double tap forward to sprint. I kind of found it annoying that when it was on, because let's say I'm laying down and I just want to like go forward a little bit, then I accidentally double tap W and start running, and that was actually kind of annoying. So having this turned on just made my life a little bit easier. The next thing that I changed is the parachute auto deploy. So by default it's on, and when you pass a certain threshold in the air, it will auto deploy your parachute. I turned it off because sometimes when I'm spawning in on a spawn beacon, I don't really want my parachute to open at a certain threshold in the air, and it just makes me easier to spot. So I deploy my parachute alone at the last second instead, and that minimizes the chance of the enemy actually spotting me. But you have to be careful, because when you use this on obliteration or a game mode where you parachute in at the beginning and the timer hasn't ran out yet, then you can't open your parachute and you're going to die automatically because you're going to fall to the ground. So you just got to be careful for that. The next thing that I really like to have is the things in the deploy screen, like seeing who's in your vehicle, what loadout they have, the ranks they are, and what classes they are. So this helps you to, when you're in the deploy screen, to know what you should spawn as to help your team as best you can. The next most important part is the minimap. So by default, obviously it's at 100%, and I'll show you guys what it looks like. 100% is pretty damn small, I find. For something that's so important, Battlefield, being situational awareness, and most of that information is on the minimap. As you can see, since I'm in test range, you can see all that crap. I find that having the minimap at 100% is way too small for my liking. So I bumped it up to actually 170%, and man, did it make my life easier. You can just see so much better what's happening around you, even if it's not zoomed in to the max, and it doesn't take up a whole lot much more of your screen. I mean, the left part of your screen, the left hand corner of your screen isn't gonna like really, you don't really use it for anything. Like, sure, there might be a soldier there, but you're probably gonna be able to see him anyways. So having that minimap zoomed in as much, well, actually, like, just bigger it's just so much more helpful than having it at 100%, and I love that they added this feature into the fall patch also. The next settings I want to bring your guys' attention to is the soldier optics reticle. Before you couldn't change the color, now you can. So I put it to like a magenta kind of pink color. You can't really tell, but it's kind of pink. I find this useful because I seem to before lose kind of my reticle when there was a lot of gunfire going on or explosions because if it was red. But if you put it to a color that's kind of you know, more something that you don't really find on the battlefield, then you might have less of a chance of losing your reticle in the action. Another thing I changed is the HUD and reticles on my vehicles. I put it all to red because I find that it pops more than green in the scenery of Battlefield 4. It's just a little personal thing. You guys can try it out. I find it's a little bit better. Now, one of the most useful things they added is actually being able to change the color indicator depending on where you hit the target. So basically, you just have to know your own color code. Well, the one I use is blue is for body shots or leg shots or wherever except the head. For headshots, I put it to red, and for kill shots, I put it to green. Having that hit indicator for kill shots or headshots is pretty damn useful because you're gonna know if you pop in the head once, you're gonna know how many shots you need to kill him, because you should know about how much damage you're gonna you would have had done to them with a headshot. And for kill shots, I can't count the amount of times that I like accidentally stopped shooting at somebody because I thought they were dead, but they weren't. Well, with the green hit indicator now, I know exactly when they're dead because my hit indicator turns green. The rest of this stuff I don't really change. It's all like sizing up your HUDs and whatnot, and making the icons more visible or less visible when you zoom in and shit like that. One thing that I do recommend actually turning on is field upgrade armor icon. I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of difference, but it makes some difference. So basically, the field upgrade armor icon, if an enemy spotted, it's going to show you if he has that infamous field upgrade, which means that if you hit him, like let's say with a sniper rifle in the chest, he won't die. He will have about 10% health left, and this helps you, if the enemy spotted, know that he has that field armor upgrade, and you're going to know that you need to headshot him if you want to drop it in one shot. Although it's not the most useful thing, and sometimes you probably won't even think to look for it, it could help you out. Now, the rest of the video is going to be on key bindings. It's just a couple of keys that I want to talk to you guys about. So first of all, common, the one that I find the most important to change is the minimap. Especially if you play in armor a lot, this is going to be very useful to you to change it to this key. By default, it's on M, and M key is kind of far and not very well placed to open the minimap, right? And you're going to have to probably take your fingers off either the mouse or the WASD keys to actually press that M key. And that's going to be a millisecond, or a couple of milliseconds of downtime between the time that you actually open the minimap and come back to your WASD pad. And in this short lapse of time, somebody could get a rocket off at you or anything like that. So having it set to the F key, you can just drive around and just open the map anytime without any downtime between hitting the F key and actually opening your minimap. Now, of course, this depends on what kind of keyboard you have. I have a SteelSeries Merc Stealth, which has like a gaming side to the keyboard, so the keys are spread out a little bit differently than your regular keyboard. But like, if you don't tank very much, this isn't going to be useful to you. But if you do, you know that sometimes you have to open your minimap to see what's happening around you, because you can't really see what, like, in the distance if something's spotted or whatever. So that's just something that I like to have changed in my key bindings. The next thing that I changed is one of probably the most important ones, is having toggle primary bound to your thumb button if you have one. So what this does is, let's say you're firing at an enemy and you're about to run out of ammo, but we all know that reloading probably takes too long and you're probably going to be dead, so switching to your pistol is the more viable solution. This key, having it bound to your mouse, is actually going to decrease the time it takes to switch to your pistol, because it's just so much more accessible than hitting the number 2 key and taking your fingers off that mouse pad, because movement is like pretty much the way you'll stay alive in Battlefield 4. So always being in movement and then just hitting that button and boom, you take out your pistol. And it also serves as, let's say you have your rocket launcher out and you're about to take out this tank right here. You shoot it, and then, oh, enemy comes up, pop that button. It automatically brings out your primary weapon instead of like cycling through all your weapons. It pops up your primary weapon immediately without having to press the number 1 key. So that's another little useful thing for this particular key binding. And then the last thing I wanted to talk to you guys about in the key bindings is the zoom minimap. Now, the zoom minimap is by default and on the keyboard. And I actually bound this to my mouse because sometimes I'd like to have it zoomed in for when I'm in close quarter combat, and other times I kind of want to know what's happening more out in the distance. Like I can see the enemies are spotted, like example here. I can see they're spotted, but I don't know really how much distance. Well, they're 62 meters, but it doesn't say that in actual multiplayer games. So I can see that they're spotted, but I don't really know how much distance there is between them and me. So if I just press this button on my mouse, there you go, zoomed out. Now I know, oh, I know whereabouts they are. They're about 60 meters out, right? So this is also really helpful in a tank, switching between tank and infantry gameplay, just because like in a tank I'd like to be zoomed out as much as I can. I want to see the most of the map that I can and see where I have to go to help my team and kill tanks and whatnot. But on foot, I really like to have it zoomed in so I see what's going on around me, because what's going out in the distance isn't gonna affect me as much, unless of course there's sniper rifles, because the chances of enemies actually killing me, like, and being spotted that are further than what I can see my minimap are pretty slim. So having that zoomed in like that, I find is so much more useful. So that's it for my settings and key bindings for Battlefield 4. I hope this is going to help make you guys a better Battlefield 4 player and help minimize the chances that you're going to die in a firefight and increase the chances that you're going to come out of that shit alive. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share to my channel for more videos like this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.